So product means it is an assembly window. I told, right? Sketcher, part design, wireframe, assembly. So product means it is assembly window. So by default this assembly window will open, so you should close that. Okay, by default assembly window, product window will open, you can close that. So now we are going to see the sketcher window, right? So for that you have to go to the start, mechanical design. So in that n number of sub modules are there. So we are going to see only 5 modules, sub modules. So sketcher, part, wireframe and surface design, assembly and drafting. Only these 5 you are going to see. Okay, now we will go to the sketcher. Okay, so after closing you have to go to the start, mechanical design, sketcher, simply select OK. Actually this is the part window only, but this is the sketcher tool. So all other tools are in normal color, but it is highlighted in the orange color. Okay, this is a sketcher tool. So you have selected the sketcher, so this tool is selected. So if you don't know what is the next step you want to do, you can read this bottom line, the left corner, lowest corner. Select a plane or planar face or a sketch. Okay, so sketch tool is selected. Now we have to select on which plane you want to draw, whether it is XY plane, YZ plane, ZX plane. Here or here, anywhere you can select. Okay, so I am selecting this YZ plane. Now this is the uh, sketcher window. I'll tell you the important toolbars. So this is the view toolbar. Then second I told profile toolbar. Actually you can drag anywhere. Okay, and if you want to, do you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Here.
Okay, okay. And if you want to change the orientation from horizontal, vertical to horizontal, simply you have to select shift. Okay, if you select the shift, the orientation will vary, will change. Now also it is vertical, I'm pressing the shift, so it is changed, constraint, and this is finally workbench. Okay, so view toolbar, profile, operation, constraint, workbench. Additionally we have sketch tool.
Sir, your voice is coming too low.
Tool. Okay, what happened? While pressing shift control and all, I have to use both hands. In that time my headphone is falling, so this happens. Now is it fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so first tool is view toolbar, you know that. So it is fit all in, pan, rotate. This is basic, almost in all paint software you can get this type of toolbar, so it is easy. So second one is profile. Using this you can create the continuous lines. For example, you see, I can draw the straight line. Okay, if it is inclined, it will be in white color. If it is straight horizontal or straight vertical, it will be in blue color. Okay, so I can draw the horizontal line, inclined line. Then now you see sketch tools. Previously, only these 5 tools are there. Now it is expanded. So here you can select whether if you want to draw the arc. So like that, continuously you can draw the lines. And if you want to terminate, the same tool you have to press, otherwise you can press the escape button so that you can terminate. The next one is rectangle. If you expand, you can get a number of rectangles. So oriented rectangle, parallelogram, elongated hole, keyhole. So keyhole, elongated, lot of things are there. Then circle and different types of circles: 3-point circle, coordinate circle, tangent circle, then different arcs, then spline. Spline means like so some smooth profile like aerofoil profile and all you can create it. And the main important thing while drawing the profile is, so always software creates some auto constraint. You can see I'm keeping the point here. There is nothing extra lines coming, but now you can see one horizontal blue color line, and that line shows coincidence with this rectangular horizontal line. You can see, now see. Okay, so there is a auto constraint. Now if I select Now if I terminate by selecting this, you can see this O symbol. That means this point and this line, there is a auto constraint, okay, coincident constraint. So what will happen due to that? You see, I can move this point. I can move this point because it is not at all constrained anywhere. But this point I can't move. Actually, now I could move because it is not fixed. Once it is fixed, now you see vertically it won't move. This way it may move, vertically it won't move. Like that, sometimes there will be auto constraint. So when you design the profile, you should be careful. There should not be any auto constraint. If you want to delete, simply you have to select that icon and simply press the delete button. Even if you want to delete this line, simply select and press the delete. Okay, it will be deleted. Okay, then ellipse. If you expand, you will get hyperbola, parabola, those things. Then line, then axis line. Axis line is just for our reference. Okay, so software will not consider these lines. For example, if I exit this sketcher and go to the part design, you see that axis line is not there. Okay, so it is just for the reference. But this point, you should be careful. You should not create it unnecessarily. Actually, to create the 3D, for example, if I don't want these lines, simply I am doing the box selection and deleting it. Okay, and delete it. So if you want to create the 3D model, then the profile should be a single closed curve. So this rectangle, I can convert this into a rectangular box. But if I create the box like this, if I create the box like this, I cannot go for the 3D because there is a opening. Sometime this distance may not be visible. If you normally see, it will be like closed. Okay, but if you try that after will tell it is not the closed profile, it is a open profile. Like that, it will show the error. You can see now. You see, it is completely closed. So all the points are in white color. But this profile, you see, it is closed. These 3 points, so it is in white color. It is not closed, so it is in black color. So these open profiles cannot be used for the 3D design. And also, so only one profile should be there. If you take two profiles like this which are intersecting and you try to do the 3D, it won't work. Okay, so 3D works in the different way. So if I give one 3D model, so each projection, each component separately you have to create it. Okay, so this is about profile tool, how to create it. Then operation toolbar. So using this corner, you can convert. That is, you can select these two line, or if you want, you can select the corner also. You can convert sharp edge into the rounded edge, or you can convert sharp edge into the flat one using chamfer. Sorry. And if you expand the third one, relimitation, you can expand the fourth one, transformation. You can expand the fifth one, 3D geometry. So a number of options are there. So this is like trim, this is break, this is quick trim. So if you want to break the line, this line if you want to break it with reference to this axis. Now you see it is two lines, separated as a two lines. Okay, about this axis, it got separated. Or trim, there is quick trim. Mostly we will use this quick trim. That is unwanted line, you can delete it. For example, mistakenly you have drawn another one profile like this. Okay, so you don't want these extra projections. So simply select, it will be deleted. So up to the intersection point, it will be deleted. For example, here, if I select this, it will be deleted between these two intersection point. Like that, you can delete the unwanted lines. So mostly with this quick trim, we will use it. Okay. Then transformation. If you have one profile, you can do the mirror. That is mirror image we can create, or we can do symmetry. We can translate, rotate. We can increase the scale. we can offset, all those things we can do it. Okay, offset means, for example, this is the profile. So this is the profile. So if you offset, you can see the same profile. We can reduce the size or increase the size. And again, this sketch tool is expanded. Here you can give the value offset design, whether you want to offset it outside or inside, that you have to decide. For example, if then this blue color line it is showing, right? So it should be inside. You should not keep it outside. Okay, it should be inside. In that case, you can move it a little bit this one. You move this, the blue color line is inside. Now I can define as 20. So for 20 mm distance, it is offsetted. Like that, we can use these tools and all. Then constraint. So this is to give the dimensions. For example, so this line I am selecting. So I am getting 397.482 mm. Assume it should be 400 mm. Okay, we can change it. Okay, then this vertical line I am giving, it is 239. So just double click to change it. Give it as 300. Either you can change it. Okay, this is how you have to give the dimensions. Another one thing. Okay, these things I will close it. Okay, so I am going to give the dimension for this rectangle. So we know for rectangle, these are all the two major dimensions, length and width or height, anything you take. I'm taking this as 400, this is 300 or 200 something. I'm taking on rectangle. So this is the required dimension, right? For rectangle, only two dimensions are required. Actually, after it is constrained, this white color line will be turned into green color. With that fully constrained green color line profile only, you have to take it to the 3D design. Okay, because so anytime you can read the design. For example, there are 10, 20 steps. Okay, n number of profiles you created for the single component. At last, you are coming to this first profile. You see it is movable anywhere. So mistakenly you selected and it is moved, and you can update it every time. It will be automatically updated. Now, if you exit and go to the final component, because of this movement, totally there may be a distortion happen in the final design. So always when you create the profile, we have to constrain it properly so that it should not move anywhere. So how to do the constraint means dimensions we have given, then we have to arrest the degree of freedom. Okay, it should not move vertically, horizontally. So those arresting, we can do it with respect to these axis lines. Okay, so you can fix the rectangle like this in the center, or at least at some certain distance, or even at the center like that. Depends upon the geometry, you can fix it. For example, I am going to fix this rectangle as a symmetry with respect to this axis. I have to use both hands. So if you are facing any audio issue, you please let me know. Okay. So it should be in the center. That is, it should be symmetry about this axis. So in simple way, if you want to use the symmetry means, what you can do, you can select this constraint. You can select the line and the axis. I am getting additional dimension. This I can give 100. Now see, it is constrained. Similarly, here also I can give the distance. So it will be 200. Now see, it is completely constrained, green color. And if you try to move also, it is not moving anywhere. Like that, you have to constrain the profile. Then only you should go for the 3D design. But here it is 200, so I have easily given 100. But if the number is large and complex, that time it is difficult to find what is the half value. So in that case, you can go for the another constraint method. For example, this is symmetry, right? That is, these two lines are symmetry about this axis. Okay, so these two lines first, then reference axis. Both I have selected. And if you want to continuously select, you have to press the control. Otherwise, if you select one time and next time if you select this, it will be gone. So continuously, if you want to select, press the control, then you can select. Okay, two outer edges and the reference axis. Now you can see first tool is opened, enabled. So constraint defined in dialog box that you open, you are getting a lot of options: symmetry, tangency, coincide, parallelism, perpendicular, etc. and all. So here we need the symmetry. Select. Now this is the symmetry symbol. Now see these two lines are green. Same way, I can give symmetry for these two lines with respect to this reference line. Now this is enabled. I can give symmetry. Okay. So like that you have to constrain. For example, you are drawing another one circle here. We know for circle only the radius is the only dimension. Give it is 500 and it is moving here and there. Now we have to arrest the movement. Assume the circle line is tangent to this vertical line. So we can give the tangency. For example, select this line, select this circle. Now first one is enabled. You can give tangency. Okay. Now these two lines, two parallel line is there that shows the tangency. Still it is in white color. That is because this center point is not fixed. Okay. So how can we fix that? Is horizontally it won't move, only vertically it is moving. So what I can do? Any idea how to fix this?
Sir, that parallel to that axis, that
Yeah,
center line.
yeah, good. So we can make this line parallel to this. That is coincidence. Okay. I am selecting the center point and this axis. So first one is enabled. I can give coincidence. Okay. So this point coincide with this axis. Now it is in green color. But still we can't use this profile for the 3D profile because there is intersection. Okay. At a time, we should take only one profile. That would be better. Okay. This is about the sketcher toolbars. So this is to exit the sketch. Okay. This is the part design. You can convert the profile into 3D. This we will see in the next class. So okay, now we will go to the bulkhead design. So in the bulkhead design, we have to draw the two concentric circles with a radius of 1250, 1225. So this is the circle tool. Okay, so I'm drawing the first circle. Simply I'm drawing one circle. Later I can define the dimension. You see, it is diameter. What we need is the radius. Okay, so we can change the diameter into radius, or this value you can convert it into diameter. Anything is possible. Okay, better I am taking radius itself, and value is 1250. Okay, so first circle I have drawn, but it is not fitting into the screen, so I can use this fit all in tool. Now it is fitted. Now then go for the second circle. Whenever you draw one profile, immediately you do the constraint. It is not like after drawing two circles, two elongated holes, everything, you should not constrain. Whenever you draw one profile, you have to constrain it. Now I'm giving second dimension, radius 1225. So two circles I have drawn. Then we have to draw these two elongated holes. Any idea how to draw that? You see, from here to here, it is a semicircle. Then from here to here, it is a straight line for 600 mm. Then again here, it is a semicircle. Sorry, that is not working. Okay. So here semicircle, here semicircle, here two lines. Any idea how to draw this profile? So this is 600 and radius is 800. We will go to the
So
formula.
make one rectangular block in the middle and then add two circles and then take away half the circles on each side.
Yeah, good. Actually, in Catia, there is no restriction. N number of ways are there. Okay, you can draw the profile in whatever the way you want. So as you said, we can draw one rectangle. Then you are telling we can draw one circle like that, right? Now we can give the dimensions. For example, this radius is 800, and this should be the 1600, 1600, and this they have mentioned 600, which we created. Okay, as you said, we can create another circle also. Further also we can define the radius. Okay, it is our constraint. Now we can delete the unwanted line, right? So we can delete the unwanted lines. So you got the profile. Actually, if you want to continuously use the tool, you can double click. Okay, if you select only one time you can delete it. But if you double click continuously, you can delete it. Okay, all the tool works in that way. Okay, as you said, we have created this profile. Okay, two circles, but it is not constrained. How to constrain? It is moving. Any idea how to arrest the movement?
Sir, from the axis, we can fix the distance of that.
Yeah. So from the axis to any point, from here to here, or from here to this point, or the center point, anything you can take it. Okay. Anything you can take it. It's up to you. For example, this point to this point. So see, sometime you will get these inclined dimensions, but in the Catia you should avoid the inclined dimensions. So if it is coming inclined, simply right click, then you can convert that into vertical or horizontal. Okay, so vertical we can convert 300. Okay, still it is in white color. Why? If you don't know, simply select that white color line, try to move it. Then you can find what is an issue. Now, what is an issue?
Sir, one is not a tangent one. That other.
Yeah, that is also a correct point. So I can do control Z. Okay, to reverse it. Control Z, control Y, control Z, control Y will work. Okay, so here tangent is missing. I can give tangency. I give tangency. It tells over constraint. Okay, if additionally if you are giving constraints, it will turn into pink or red color. That means over constraint. So that constraint is not necessary. It is telling no need of tangency. Already it is constraint. Then you see this point is moving. Okay, when I moved, this point is moving, so it has to be fixed. So I can give same 300 from this point to this axis. Okay, like that you should find which point is moving. That point you have to arrest it. Is that clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the normal way of drawing it. But once you explore all the tools, so we should work as the smart worker. Okay, you see how much time we spend. We have drawn rectangle, two circles, then we deleted. We have given lot of dimensions, right? It takes so much time. As a design engineer, so you should know well about all the tools, and you should know which is the shortest way to draw the design. So now you see, instead of this method, if you expand this rectangle, you can find the elongated hole. So what it needed is the just two center points. Okay. So the center point is will be in the vertical axis. That should be above and below the axis. Okay, because the profile is symmetry about the axis. Now see, with a single tool, I have created the profile, and this is the radius. What they mentioned is 800. and this length they are given as 600. Okay, now it is moving here and there. Now instead of giving dimensions, as I said, it is symmetry about the axis. I can select these two profiles, ends, and this reference axis. For the first tool, you can use symmetry. So these dimensions and all, you can change it anywhere. If you click the line, you can move it anywhere. If you click this the value, you can change it anywhere. Okay. Now you see how simple this diagram. Previously, there will be lot of dimensions, etc. we have given, right? Now you see with the only 2 dimensions and the symmetric constraint we have created. Now if you give this diagram to the manufacturer, he can easily understand. Is it clear? So we should
Yes.
avoid unnecessary dimensions. Your diagram should be clear with a minimal dimensions. Okay. Now same way you can create the another elongated hole. Another option is there. This offset option is there, but offset option will take again more time. For example, if you select this offset, sorry, first you have to select the profile. This profile I want to offset. So select this offset tool. That is, if we expand, the last one is offset. So I want to offset it inside because the radius dimension is 780. So keep it inside. Then come to this sketcher tool. So 20. Because 800 minus 780, 20. Now you see it is created. Okay. But it is in white color. Now what you have to do? You have to give radius, tangency, vertical. For example, this line also, if you check, you see it is changing inclined. Okay. What you have to do? Select this line, select the first one, give vertical. Like that, we have to give the all the dimensions. So it will take so much time. Even though we have created the profile immediately, but constraint will take more time. So I am not going for the offset. Instead, we can create it once again. So already I know this reference points. So straight away I'm selecting that point. Okay. Instead of giving symmetry, already the points are there. Straight away I'm selecting on it. You see, while creating, you see it is trying to create tangent with that circle, also an horizontal constraint with the another circle. Like that, lot of auto constraint is there. Those things you should avoid it. Okay. Now it is not there is no auto constraint. Little bit you move, there is auto constraint. Those things you should avoid. Okay. Now it is clear. I have selected. This should be 780. Now it is fixed. Okay. So you should know which tool. Sometimes the offset may be the better option, but here creating again is the better option. Like that you have to decide. Okay. These things you will get it once you practice more and more on this software. Is it clear? Any doubt in this?
Sir,
No, sir.
in that first bulkhead, you have applied 3 constraints because like the
The symmetry I have applied. Second time, what I did, when I create, we have to specify these 2 points. Okay. What I have done, this point I have coincided with the existing point while creating itself. For example, second time when I created, I have selected that point as the reference. So there is already auto constraint. Like that I have created. So the symmetry is not needed. Do you get it?
okay, sir, that bulkhead can be moved up or down also now because like if you like make the point in the symmetric line also, but like they
Now,
can move.
now see, I am trying to drag it. It is not moving. See, it is selected. It is not moving. I will repeat it if you want. Wait a minute. Actually, how you will create? Okay, for example, here on point I am keeping. Then I am drawing the profile. In that case, I have to define the radius 780, and this 600, 600 I have to define. Now it will be moving in the vertical direction. Now what I have to do, I can give the symmetry between these two profile and this axis. If I give that symmetry, you see these 2 points, after giving symmetry, these 2 points will be coincide, because
Yes, sir.
both profiles have the 600 only. Okay, so both point will coincide automatically. So I know that the point will be coincide after I give the symmetry. Now also I can try. See, I am giving symmetry. Now you check the points. It is coincide. It is a single point now. Both points coincide, right? So this
Yes, sir.
also you can create it. Instead, what I have done while creating itself, I have done the auto coincidence. For example, to center point I have to select. Instead of selecting anywhere, I have selected on it itself. There is auto constraint. Similarly, I have selected this point. So there is auto constraint. In that case, no need of symmetry. Simply I can give only the dimensions. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So these things and all, when you practice, you will come to know how to reduce the steps. Otherwise, you see, I have to give additional symmetry that I have avoided. Hmm?
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. So now we have to create. So these 4 circles. Uh, so these 2 circles with dia 100, these 2 outer circles with dia 75, and distance between is 400, 350. So that let's design it. So this circle I am drawing it. So I should not draw it. Actually, sometime what will happen? Your profile will be turned somewhere like that. In that case, you can use this normal view so that we will get the again parallel view. Okay. So circle I am drawing. You see the circle, it is not in the axis, it is above the axis. Totally 400 means from the axis to center point it is 200. You see, if you try to create the center point here, there is auto constraint, coincidence with the axis. So it should be above to that. And you draw the circle. You see now there is a coincidence between these two lines, tangency. Okay, so those things you should avoid. There is no auto constraint. Now you can define the radius 600, and they have mentioned distance between the center point and the axis is 200. Then they have mentioned the center point to vertical axis is 1000. So that also we can give 1000. Sorry. Change it any time. Okay, so first circle we have drawn. Okay, then second circle just above to that. So here also you should avoid the auto constraints. You can see there is auto constraint between center point and this. Those things and all you should avoid. Now there is no auto constraint. Is 75, and distance between these 2 points they have mentioned 350, but here I am getting the inclined angle. So right click, change to vertical. Now this should be 350, and distance between the center point and the vertical axis is 900. I have drawn the 2 circles. Then for the remaining profiles, I can use the mirror image. Mirror image. Okay, this operation toolbar, fourth one if you open, first one is mirror, so that I can use it. So before that, I should select the profiles. So press Control. Then select the mirror tool. If you don't know what is the next step, you can read here. Select the line or axis. Okay, so which we are taking as the reference, it is asking. So we are going to take this horizontal line as the reference. So we have created 4 circles. And same 4 circles we have to create it on the left hand side also. So again I can use the mirror tool. So select R4 circles, then select the mirror tool. Now select the vertical axis. Now it is created. Okay, and you have to ensure these dimensions not crossing the diagram, not affecting the diagram. And if you want, you can take it inside. Okay, now the design is created. At last, what student will do? They will go to tools, image, they will capture this, then they will attach it in the observation. So select the capture. So this icon will be there. In that third one is the options. You can change the background, etc. and all. You can see, you go to the pixel, you can select white background. If you don't select the white background, so first button is the capture. If you try to capture, uh, it is capturing. Again, mine is old laptop, so it is taking time. See, after capturing, I am getting this light blue color or ash color background. It is not visible properly. So we can change the background using this options. So I need a white background. I need highest quality. Those things and all you can change it. Now if you capture, now see it is with a white background. Even you can save that as a one. I'm saving it. You can check it. Okay, the profile is saved. This they will crop and take the printout. They will attach it in the observation. Then they will write the procedures like that. They used to submit. That's it. And another important points. So in the sketch tools, so if you want, you can enable the grids. Okay, if you find it, if it is useful. I work with without grid only. Then second one, snap point. There is snap to point. If you select and if you try to create any diagram, what will happen? You can pick the point only in the grids. Okay, you can't. Oh, it's come. Sure, okay. Sometimes software will it won't work in that said way. So actually, snap to point means you can pick only this grid intersection points. Okay. So mostly I used to disable this so that you can pick anywhere in the grid points. Okay. These two I don't use it mostly. And another important thing, these five should be always enabled. Okay. So see. This is dimensional constraint, geometrical constraint. This is also almost same. Okay, dimensional geometrical constraints. These five it should be enabled. For example, with that enabled, if you draw the profile, automatically it takes vertical, horizontal, etc. and all. And if you disable these things, now if you draw, there is no vertical, horizontal. And if you try to move, you can move it. Okay, but these things it is not moving. Okay, it is a enabling these constraints. So always you have to ensure these things are enabled. Okay, okay, these five should be enabled. And this one is just construction line. For example, this is a solid line, right? By selecting this solid line and this thing, we can convert that as the reference line. Okay, any solid line can be converted into the reference line using this option. It is mostly it won't be necessary because we have the axis tool separately.